Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. The show that is not for entertainment purposes only. Although every now and then there might be a little bit of entertainment value, we tend to try to focus on the hidden world. The world that cannot be seen with the eyes. The world that cannot be heard with the ears. The world that you cannot touch nor smell, but yet it's there. This is what we like to focus on because we know that we are in a spiritual battle. And if you're not aware, spiritual is something that is invisible. It's there, but you can't see it. You can't smell it, touch it, taste it, but it's there. Just like the wind. You can't see it, but you know it's there. Today, we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things. We're kind of taking it kind of easy today. This is my 4th day straight live, and we're going to just talk about maybe some secrets or share some ideas with you as we move forth in the show today. I've got Super Dave, Super Mike in the chat, our official Supernatural moderators, and I'd like to say thank you to those guys. I have Miss Kim here with us as well, right behind me over my shoulder. Oops, I guess I could turn my camera on, couldn't I?
Nah.
Why not? Hey, you know, this is the Supernatural Show. And so I've got Miss Kim here, blonde-headed thing over here. And Shannon was here a little while ago, so if you were joining us prior to the show for the pre-show, which is on the website, on the TheSupernatural.Show website, click on Beyond the Veil pre-show, and it's free, and it'll stay free. But you can come and hang out with us before the show. But it's just us hanging out and talking, getting ready to do the show. So it's nothing that's groundbreaking, but it is beyond the veil, and we're able to talk about anything we want to, any way we want to, and you're welcome to go there. We also have another area of Beyond the Veil that is a couple of extra areas. One is called the Round Table of Knowledge, and the Round Table of Knowledge is an area where we can gather and we can talk, meaning me, you, Roxy, Shannon, Dave, Mike, anyone that's watching the show can literally go in there. And but it does require, that feature of the website does require a membership to the website. And that's all explained on the website when you look at memberships. And then, matter of fact, I have a little commercial I can show you on that, the Round Table of Knowledge. And that is an area where I have to require membership because it identifies you and lets me, if someone goes in there and gets naked and stupid, I get to know who they are. And it protects y'all guys because we don't want troublemakers in our round table of knowledge now, do we? So I'd encourage you to check that out. We also will have, getting ready to launch it here in the next day or two, an area that is the Beyond the Veil Live is more of a show area where we're able to go and do anything we want to do, say anything we want to say, and put on an actual live show, not just a pre-show where we're getting ready for the show. And that is a members-only area too, requiring membership. And but that'll be launched here in the next day or two. And we can even go in there and watch a mainstream movie and decode it along the way if we want to. We don't have to worry about copyright and all these things. So yeah, there's that area, and that's a more of a presentation area where we do shows. You know, guys can join in. We even have a chat mechanism on these pages as well. So check it out. To give you an update also on the October Superthon, if you're not familiar with that, let me show that to you real quick. If I've got it loaded in the right spot. I do. And you may have not heard the audio on that, Roxy. I don't think I had it turned on so you would be able to hear it. I need to
It's okay.
Make that alteration. To give you guys an update on the Superthon, we've made a little progress. We have made a little progress. So let's take a look and see where we're at and all that kind of good stuff. Go back up here. All right, let's take a look. All right, here we are on the homepage of the website. This is the TheSupernatural.Show website. You can come here and there's access to a lot of different things here. If you want to find out about becoming a member, you just click on this Supernatural membership area, okay? And there's several options in there. As far as the October Superthon, you can come here, click on October Superthon, and it is a fundraiser that we're doing for the whole month of October. I've dedicated myself a little reluctantly because, well, I'm going to go live 31 days straight. When I first started thinking about doing something like this, I was saying, how in the world, Shannon's going to have to do these extra days. Roxy's going to have to do these extra days. And I heard a little voice in my head that said, take the bull by the horns, which meant that I had to do every day. And so it is what it is, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to try to do a good job. I'm going to try to really, truly bring some race car going by, or really just a loud redneck. But I'm going to really try to bring some...
Easy on that. I like loud cars, and I am a redneck.
Well, I didn't say they were bad. I just said it was a loud redneck. Did I say it was bad?
It's one of my friends. Be easy.
It probably was.
Probably was.
Yeah.
We like
Roxy,
things to go hunting.
Yeah, Roxy literally grew up in a garage with wrenches. Most kids had doll babies, and she had wrenches. So she could probably...
I got my first set of boxing wrenches when I was 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah, my first set of tools was when I was 4.
Right. Yep.
I can disassemble anything.
Yep. She can literally, change the heads out on your car or about anything like that, especially the older models, the 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff. I think she can handle it. So here we are. Let's see where we're at today. What kind of progress? Yesterday we were at $112 for the first day of the October Superthon. And let's see, we've got a $10,000 goal. And we made it up to $756 yesterday. I asked y'all guys yesterday, can you see what I see? And if you haven't seen that show, you can go check it out. It is, I promise you, you will not regret watching it. Can you see what I see? I'm going to be doing another episode of Can You See What I See tomorrow. And we're going to go further. Can you see what I see? And I said, would Father have put things so simple as to show us what we are, who we are, and where we're at by putting it right on our face? To some of you, it may sound kind of crazy. Just go watch the first 10 minutes and see if you can turn away. Because I looked at the statistics and everyone that was watching stayed. Okay, I looked at the video statistics. Everyone stayed the entire video. Now, I shortened it up and rebroadcast it last night. That's one thing I'm doing, is every day when we do a live show, I'm going to chop off small talk in the beginning, maybe chop off the extra at the end or any small talk. And all the meat, I'm going to put it together and rebroadcast it as a premiere every night at 8 p.m. And it's going well. That's really working well. So I'll be doing that. So if you look at the Logic Before Authority channel and click on videos, of course, lives are there, and that's where the live show is at. But under just videos, you'll see, Can You See What I See, with the shorter version. So it will allow you to get to the meat quickly and have dinner. Dinner made out of knowledge. Okay? We are, like I said, we're 756 on the Superthon so far. That, I'm really, really pleased, to be honest. If we could keep this pace, we'll hit the goal. Now, I realize it can go up and down a little bit and stuff on different days. And, you know, there's times of the month and week when people have a little extra money and a little less money. I realize how it is. And I'm also hoping that some of you guys out there that just easily have the ability to move this needle, I pray that Father puts it on you to move that needle. I've listed out some of the things that the funds will be used for. I've told you that I got to fix my teeth. Okay? They're starting to affect my speaking. Can't have that. And it's just not good that I'm having problems. I got my teeth radiated by a dentist several years ago. Gave me like 20 x-rays, and it literally immediately, my mouth hurt. My mouth hurt for a month. Ain't never experienced that before. He may have not known it, but he was literally damaging me. Now, the ones at the dental association, they know it. They're making him do those. I don't know if he knew it, but got to get my teeth taken care of. I've got to get my taxes paid on my house. I've got to get a new PC for the studio, and I've got 2 leaks in my roof that if I don't get them fixed, it's going to be a whole lot worse. It got to be fixed. And the only way I can make these things happen is going to the people that I provide service to and asking y'all guys to support the Supernatural Show. Now, these funds will be distributed across the team as well. So everybody on the team will be blessed. Assuming we can get this needle on up, we can do better blessing, you might say. Okay. If you come to this page, under the video, there are links. All of these links right here, they're all there. Okay. And I also have a mailing address right here. Okay. Matter of fact, I can put it up on the screen right here. Let's switch us over here, and I'll show you my mailing address. That is my mailing address. It's a P.O. box, just a few miles away. I can get to it most of the time pretty quickly. And you've definitely got plenty of time if you'd like to contribute to the goals for the services that we provide. You know, when you come here, you know you're going to get honesty, you're going to get truth, and you're going to get knowledge. And we're asking you to step out this month and make a difference, because I give of myself. Everybody here is doing it all for free, pretty much. I'm mainly the one that benefits a little bit. I'm able normally to keep my lights on, but that's about it. I don't have money to go to dinner. I can't even fix my cars. Both of them are broke. And I'm lucky to have two actually now, but it's broke. It needs repairs, and repairs take money. Even though I've got a mechanic that lives behind me, he's still gonna want something. So anyways, enough with the poor mouthing. I'm just asking y'all guys to bless us.
Remind me when we get off air so you can tell me what's going on with the truck. Maybe I can fix it.
Well, okay. Yeah, you qualified a lot more than me, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, I lifetime. I mean, I might be able to diagnose or at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. I think I know what's wrong with it, but it is going to take a little work. The guy that owned it before I got it, he hit a deer, and it busted the front grill on it, which he replaced the grill, but he didn't put two and two together when it started running hot. What happened is the radiator got smacked, and it pushed it back,
and
it fell out of its bracket, and it dropped down on one side. And so what the fan housing that goes around the fan fell down onto the fan and keeps the fan from turning. The fan's an electrical fan, so it may have burned up the motor, or if I get lucky, when I get that housing lifted back up and get it into place, the radiator back into its right spot, if I get lucky, the fan will just start working and it'll stop running hot. Because if you're on the freeway, it drives fine. But if you get in town and slow down, it's going to run hot on you. So,
okay, well, before you crank it and run it again, I need you to check the oil and send me a picture so I can see what the oil.
The oil actually looks good.
Okay, so we got no milk in the oil.
No milk.
10-4.
Mm-hmm.
Easy fix.
Yeah, well, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll take all the help and assistance I can get, because I'm good at some things, but I'm an idiot at some other things. I mean,
automotive is my jam, man.
All right. Well, we'll do that. Let's see here. What should we do now? Oh, okay. So I gave y'all guys the address, all the links here. Any link that you use here will go towards the total. Okay. And we also have, if you like, you can come over here and you can choose to donate on a weekly or a monthly basis. Say if you want to give $10 a month, you can come over here and plug that in there. That'll go towards this month's total, and it'll provide some additional funding for me for next month. So when I'm broke again, I'll have something to fall back on. So you can use this side over here on this side of the screen to do that. And then if you're on a mobile, you can pull all this up on a mobile too, and just scroll down and you'll see everything. And but yeah, it's all there. So let's move on from our Superthon. Thank y'all guys. Oh, matter of fact, actually, I do got to take another moment. I've got to name some names. Okay, let's start from yesterday, or excuse me, day before yesterday, on the October 10th. We have Kimberly G, Lisa C, Stephen N, David H. Then on the 2nd, we have Kimberly G again. We have Super Dave 44. We have Shannon M, which is our co-host, actually donated to the Superthon. We have Sandra E. We have John C. We have Leonard K. We have Sell Stuff 911. That's just the name that was on the account. And we have Dennis D. We have Austin C. Or maybe the reverse of that somehow. And we have Robin C. That Robin C actually came in this morning, but the way I'm calculating from show to show, it counts for the last 24-hour period. And all of that gives us our total of the $756.51. And, the only way that I can say thank you is to continue to do what I do and say thank you on air in front of everybody. Thank you so much for supporting the show and my work and everybody here. All right, let's see. What shall we look at now? What shall we look at?
No.
Oh, I got one more thing. Okay, I'm getting too long-winded on this fundraising stuff. But I have an idea that I came across, and I thought it was a pretty good idea, so I'm going to share it with you. Because some of you, I'm sure, are motivated to try to help me. Okay, here's an idea that I found online, and supposedly it works really well. Okay? It means, like, if you're somebody that maybe has Facebook friends, or you have a bunch of people's email addresses, or maybe even just 10 people's email addresses. It's called peer-to-peer fundraising. It's where you create a fundraiser, like on GoFundMe or any of those sites. You pick the one that you want, right? You create a fundraiser, and you identify it as that you're raising funds for the Supernatural Show, okay? And then you promote it out to your friends and your people, and it adds a lot of credibility, you see, because you believe in the show, you believe in the service that is giving here, the information, the knowledge. So if you create a fundraiser and spread it out to your friends, even though they maybe don't watch the show, they'll contribute something, and then towards the end of the month, you can cash it out of there and submit it as a total donation as well. And so it actually sounds like it's an idea that would work. Now, will it raise? Who knows what it's going to raise? I don't know your situation. I don't know how many people you know. But even if you only have 10 or 20 people, you could send it to by email or maybe by text message or something like that. It'll work. Now, with that being said, that's it on that. I'm gonna move on. Now, Roxy said she had some good news.
I like good news.
Where's that coming from? No. You still got good news? I had good news, and that was the Superthon's doing pretty good. What's your good news?
My good news is there's a thing. Well, I got a couple of good things I found because I intentionally went looking for good news. We hear so much bad, so much of the Molotov cocktails being thrown at us.
Yep.
So, everybody, I've only slept about an hour and a half in 24 hours. So in my delirium this morning, I decided I was going to find some good news. Because I stayed down the they them rabbit hole so much and discovered so much disaster. Thank you, Truth Co-op. You are awesome, Miss Diana. I found a couple of initiatives that are going on by the people for the people, which is what I like to talk about because nobody's going to do it if we don't do it for each other. One of them is it's a community gardening thing. Where since we really can't trust what we're getting from the stores to be what they say it is, there are a lot of people that even if it's a small greenhouse situation, if you've got one neighbor or two neighbors that that you're friendly with or family members, quite a few people are buying little greenhouses. I don't know if you're familiar with the website Vivor, but Vivor has a cute little simple greenhouse, not hard to put up. I think it's about 19, 20 foot long. It's $150. And we've got a link on the website where you can go get some non-GMO seeds and just grow some vegetables. And it's becoming a trend where a lot of like suburban areas, neighborhoods and communities are getting together and talking to their HOA, if you have an HOA, and putting up these little greenhouses, and they're growing small amounts but enough to share. And then they're all collectively saving and harvesting the seeds from the small crops that they have for next year for sustainable food for everything that they can. Because anymore, we can't trust what we're getting from where we're getting it to be what they say it is. Because on the bad news side of it, like last night, I saw like 14 counts of E. coli breakouts, and it was from some kind of pre-packaged pasta and water sold through the Wally World place. Second part of the good news, I'm encouraging everybody, go look into a greenhouse. You don't really need a greenhouse. You can do it much simpler than that if you can't afford the $174. You can grow enough food, even if it's potatoes and tomatoes, in a couple of 5-gallon buckets. Even if you live in an apartment, set them by a window. It's possible.
It's really important that we start. You got to start growing your own food, guys. Even, you can't start out. I come out of the gate with a huge garden. I can't. I've got Daniel's art garden going in the back. And it was a lot better this year, but I got a long ways to go before I'm going to get there, because I need raised gardens. I need all kinds of things. I'm always in need, apparently.
Well, that's one of the greenhouses that I'm looking into for the hog pen area. That's kind of what we're actually going to take and make our own. We're going to take PVC and then take some heavy duty tarps. And what you do with the tarps and the plastic, you actually make 2 layers. And one is like plastic and then one is tarps. So you can shade it, and help control the heat and the airflow. But and that way when it rains, the tarps will keep it from pushing on plastic. Anyway, that's what we're looking at for a little sustainable food kind of thing. But
coming this spring.
Yeah. And even if you're not doing anything, but which we're even talking about putting a heater in ours, a small little gas heater. That way we can try to do some stuff year round. Try to get some stuff put up in jars. We don't never know what's coming. Better to be prepared than left with an empty hand. And the way tithing used to work in communities was long before the government come in and started collecting taxes. What tithing was everybody in the community. One person grew vegetables. One person grew potatoes. One person had cows. At the harvest season, everybody came together, and that 10% was what you saved from your crop to put on the table for anybody who was short or had a bad season. It was taking care of your neighbor is what tithing was. It was not handing it over to some big brick building that says you got to go to me to meet him.
Right. Yep.
That's why I don't like them brick buildings. But second part of the good news, we're going to talk about him. College campuses, especially over the southern U.S., I don't know about some of the other schools, are having pop-up baptismals. These kids who, after the Charlie thing happened, who were probably never looked into this side of life, or, were out doing what they were doing. University of Tennessee is the one I was looking at. They actually, in their parking garage, put tarps in the back of their pickup trucks and were baptizing each other. They were having baptismal and prayer, and that's not something that normally goes on a college campus, especially Tennessee. That's a party campus. But I've noticed that a lot of these schools, instead of seeing party and stuff, we're seeing more prayer, more baptisms, more gatherings for God. I mean, it's an awesome thing. UGA students give impromptu baptisms. Yeah, it's going on everywhere.
UGA students get impromptu baptisms in pickup trucks. Any work of God. Wow.
Yep, they're putting what they're doing is they're taking pickup trucks like mine and they're lining them up, and they put tarps in the back of them and filling them up with water.
Okay.
And they have like student evangelists, and people from, whatever in the youth groups are coming out, and they're holding prayer and they're singing, and anybody that wants to be baptized can come up and be baptized. I've never heard of that happening on college campuses before.
This group says some anti-religion group slams Auburn for impromptu baptism event, called it inappropriate and unconstitutional. Oh, really?
Christians are the ones that are fixing to be the oppressed. Just FYI, if everybody don't know, you better get ready because they're coming for us.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, let's stick with the good news. Right now, people are at least turning their heads in some of the right directions.
These are 20-something-year-old kids that are normally in the bar all weekend. They're getting baptized in the parking garage. So I'm all for that.
Yep, me too. And so baptism itself, it is a symbolic thing itself. It's about washing yourself clean. It's going through a actual physical process and symbolizing washing yourself anew. If you never understood baptism, it's about symbolizing things. It's kind of like when you go into, when you're praying, maybe you close your eyes. What it is you're closing your eyes symbolically to say, I humble myself before you, Father, and I know I'm in your presence, so I'm closing my eyes, because it says in the Bible that Father cannot be looked upon. So I've always wondered where these things come from. Like when you pray, putting your hands together like this, where does that come from? What is it symbolizing when you put your hands in front of your face? There's so many things that we do in life that we don't even understand what they mean. We just do them because other people did them. And that's what's gotten us in trouble.
That's what you saw when you were a kid. Yep.
It's gotten us in a whole lot of trouble, just not questioning things.
Side note, have you ever heard of Alan Watts' Teacher?
Alan Watts, what?
Teacher. I listened to an amazing. He's a YouTuber. That's the name of his channel, Alan Watts' Teacher.
No, I haven't.
His are like almost like motivational guided kind of thing. I don't know how or why. One of those things. It popped up on my YouTube this morning, and this is at like 6:15 on hour 18 of no sleep. It's called The Danger of Seeing What Others Don't. And it's kind of motivational. I really enjoyed the message in it. It was talking about those of us that can see and feeling like we don't fit in, and how sometimes it's difficult to deal with the fact that we do see now, and we're saddened by the fact of those that don't see, and that it's very hard to have these surface level conversations with those that are asleep, things of that nature. And it's more motivational about telling you, okay, don't think of this as a bad thing, because you've done it and I've done it. Like some days it's very overwhelming. Some of the things you see and know and understand now are very overwhelming and saddening for humanity. But this puts it in a perspective which gives you a little more insight to what you're seeing and how to deal with it, how to comprehend. It was really good. It's called Alan Watts' Teacher, The Danger of Seeing What Others Don't. Like 16 minutes. Fantastic. It's a good morning motivational.
All right. Yeah, very nice. Well, what kind of good news do y'all guys have out there, or just news in general? But if it's good news, it'd be good to share it. I can pull you up here on screen so you're actually being seen. You can just type it into the chat. Let's see.
We have a lot of our regulars here today. We got Diana and Connie.
Yeah, hey Diana. Good to see you.
Oh, there's Rocky Shepherd. Rocky Shepherd, your name throws me off every time. When I see Rocky, it does.
Right.
I have a Rocky.
There's a Rocky in her group, you might say.
And Joni. We got a bunch of people here today. A lot of our regulars. Cash is here. Hey, Cash.
Judea. Connie, I see Connie's here. And of course, Mike and Super Dave, they got it down. They dedicated. which I am amazed by their dedication. And we want to support both of those guys. Super Dave 44, as you see right here, of course, he has a channel on YouTube. It's called Super Dave 44. If you haven't never checked it out, check it out. He likes to spit some truth too.
Yes, he do.
See, Joni is here.
One of my
Christians
biggest
pray with their hands raised. Where did the hands together come from? Are you?
that is
you
probably a Tibetan thing.
maybe. You know,
They believe in energy connection.
they definitely
full
do that,
circle.
don't they? The Tibetans. But
Tibetans are more about frequency and internal personal energy chakra kind of thing. So they're trying to take their own energy and get it to rise, which is what we should all be doing to a certain extent. And that's part of their hands together.
Yeah. Hey, Kent, brother, I see you here again. Good to see you.
Oh, I learned a neat trick the other day. You can take your thumb and your second finger and take a breath in.
Your middle finger?
Yeah, your middle finger. Just put your thumb and your middle finger together and just take a breath in. Now take your thumb and your third finger and take a breath in and feel the difference. If you do it a couple of times, you'll realize that there's a difference.
Well, there are so many secrets held in the hands, and it's one thing that I'm really, really spending time pondering. It has to do with our fingertips, touch pads on our fingertips, our hands in general, like the raising of the hands to the sky, to the heavens, to Father, you know. The hands have an extreme amount of nerve endings. And your hands don't just receive frequency, they also project frequency. Most people don't realize, but your hands are frequency projectors as well. And
well, think about how much propaganda was taught to us as Gen X about tree hugging, aura seeing, hoodoo, woo woo. Them hippies is crazy. There ain't nothing better you can do for your body and your spirit to go outside barefooted and hug a tree.
right.
They ain't want you to do that though.
No, they don't want you barefooted. They want you with those rubber soles that separate your soul from the ground, which is the grounding that helps you ground and connect with creation itself. And then the hairs on your body. You know, I thought about something from doing the show yesterday, and it was talking about eyelashes being around the eye. And I said, and I made a little comment, just kind of putting myself down, saying, "Oh, Daniel, the eyelashes are just there to protect the eyes." And then I thought, wait a minute, there's actually more truth to that. They are there to protect the eyes, but then you have to ask yourself, what is the rest of the hair on your body doing if your eyelashes, if we'll admit they're protecting the eyes, what are the rest of the hair is doing? They're doing protection too. They're the first line of defense. You know, they stand on in when there's a problem.
Everything external is a sensor. You know me, I think about everything like a car.
Yep. Johnny.
In a car, you got a oil pressure sensor, you got a temperature sensor, you got a fuel gauge, you got a check engine light, you got an ABS brake light. All right. Sunlight. People wear sunglasses. You are really messing yourself up. Take those sunglasses off, throw them in the trash. Don't never put them on again unless they're an emergency. Your eyes are a sensor. This is why people who go to the beach slather themselves down with all them chemicals and get in the sun and bake them in. But this is why they get so sunburnt. You put sunglasses on, which blocks the length and quantity of light that is coming into your eyeballs. Your eyeballs are a sensor to tell your body what chemicals it needs to produce to prevent you from burning your skin. So when you put on sunglasses, you've screwed up the sensor. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't adjust properly.
That does make sense.
This is why truck drivers, one of the things, the left side of their face is normally kind of like sunburnt and wrinkled, but they live with sunglasses on. Your body knows when you're out in the sun an excessive amount of time that you need extra things to moisturize your skin from dry out. When you put on sunglasses, you are aging your skin. You are burning your skin because your body doesn't know what to do. When you smell a food and it makes you sick to your stomach, it means it will not react well in your body. If a bug is flying at your eye, it closes and your eyelashes are a guard to keep that foreign object out of your eye.
Mm-hmm.
The reflex that your body has for that is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, amazing. They're very fast. And they also are an attribute that also is tied to all the points of creation, or portals, gateways, all the points of creation that are on your entire body as well. So it's not like anything on your body is just doing one thing, like eyelashes are keeping things out. It's way deeper. And we're going to go back into that tomorrow on my side, especially. Diana says, Roxy is most correct. Yeah. And seen Rocky put raising the hands, a sign of submission, hands up to Father, and seen you put it in there twice, so I wanted to make sure that was recognized, Rocky. And let's see, Joni says it can mean surrender, raising hands, and we should realize that surrendering to our Father is not the same as surrendering to an enemy. It's where we should be. We should realize that we have a Father in heaven, and we should realize that we should surrender to his will. And, of course, it's way much deeper than even that. But, see, Super Dave said, Kit Sullivan, it's good for you. Face green, smiling. Smiley face and green.
Is it an emoji?
Mm-hmm, emoji, yeah.
Well, see, this week I have been down the archaeology trail because my Tuesday show coming up is kind of Cleopatra, Mary Magdalene, hidden, like things that have been suppressed on purpose.
Right.
So, when I started going down this archaeology, geology thing over the past week, I started noticing, like, when they're digging up this stuff from over there in Iraq and Egypt, and there's a lot of things now that they're discovering because they didn't dig deep enough. They thought they were at the surface, and now they're realizing that there was 4 foot of mud flood on top of it.
Oh, but yeah. You got to keep going because there's cycle after cycle after cycle. You know, how we started talking earlier a little bit about the archaeology. Everything is stacked on top of the previous civilizations. You go out anywhere and start digging, you're basically going into the past as you go down. In most places, unless there's been some kind of dramatic flood or something that's altered some of the soil levels. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Shannon's appointment was canceled. She said she might come in.
Okay.
But, well, in the archaeology thing, I started looking at, thank you, Diana. I started looking at the clothing. Okay, one of the things, this is an Enoch thing. Sorry, don't mean to make a whole round circle out of this, but in Enoch it tells you about, you know, the fallen angels, and they taught man things they weren't supposed to teach us. One of us was like adornment and jewelry. Well, and then I start thinking about the Egyptians, so I went and looked because, you know, they wore a lot of stuff. They was all about some bling, some drip, as they call it. If you look at if you look at the Egyptians, the shoes that they wore, and I found that this carries over to Vikings as well. A lot of their shoes had either copper or gold. That was an energy transference from the ground through the shoe to the sole of the foot. So even if they had the sole of a shoe on, they had metal plates, like, you know, that went to the bottom of the shoe, through the sole, and touched the foot. Some of them even wore like gold looking caps on their toes. The richer, more, you know, pharaohs, kings, things of that nature that could afford it. That's one of the reasons for the cuffs on their wrist. You know, it's just a fashion jewelry thing now, but they would wear wide cuffs on their wrist. We assumed it was for adornment to show that they were wealthy or powerful or whatever. But if you go back and think about it from an energy standpoint, if you have a fever, if you have a headache, and like you cannot get a headache to ease off, go turn on cold water and put your wrist up under the cold water. You can automatically change your blood pressure and your blood temperature just by the blood that's running at your wrist, which is where you check your blood pressure at most time.
Or your pulse.
But think about the fact if you put big gold cuffs there, what kind of energy transfer or conduction, because they knew about magnetics. You know what I mean? And if you look at where they had these adornments, they were all in the area of the arteries in their body. That's what I've been looking at. The placement of the adornment, not the adornment. Where did you put it? You put it there for a reason, because they were not an ignorant people. We're looking at these pyramids now and seeing what's up under them. We know they weren't ignorant about energy.
No, I would beg to say that our society today is more ignorant than many of the previous cycles. It's just
intentionally.
Intentionally. It's been put upon us. It's not because we don't have the ability. It's because it's been put upon us through the Rockefeller education system. They wanted us dumb, so they raised us to hopefully fall completely into that path. And some people have, and some people haven't, and some people are like y'all guys that are making all these comments, and the ones that are watching. Y'all guys ain't watching the Supernatural Show because you're dead asleep. Because if you were, you would done be gone. Because someone's dead asleep, it cannot stand to hear the things we're talking about, because it's outside of the reality of what they believe. And the way their mind thinks is we have to believe what they believe.
Well, and even when it comes down to like carnival glass, my grandma loved carnival glass. She loved that,
I do.
What do you call it? The green one with the
expensive stuff. The expensive one is green.
The one they claimed it was radioactive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Glass. You see a lot in Egyptian. You see a lot of blue glass. Remember we watched a video the other day and there were all the blue idols?
Yeah.
This took me down a whole nother rabbit hole. If you drink water from cobalt glass, if you test the water is different. You can take tap water and put it in one of those blue cobalt old school glasses made of cobalt. The water changes. The structure changes. If you put it in the green one, which is the one they told us was radioactive, my brain has slipped at the moment as to what you call that. It changes. Every one of those.
About. I can pull it up.
Iridium. Yeah, iridium, Diana. Thank you. The iridium glass. It changes the structure of the water. It is healthy. They made it out of that glass for a particular reason. Imagine that. They don't make it anymore because the glass you were drinking out of would make you healthy. So they started plastic so that you could get a bunch of microplastics.
They were doing that kind of stuff back then. You know, I'm not someone that promotes jewelry, to be quite honest with you. Modern jewelry.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay. Emergency. Oh, Miss Shannon's back. Okay, hang on. Did you come back by the link this time? You did? I mean, the bookmark? You did? I wonder why it didn't bring you up automatically. Yeah, that's what we're trying to fix. Bookmark it again. Make sure you have it actually literally called bookmarked, and use that next time you come. I'm updating it right now so that way it'll pull you in real quick. Roxy had to step away for just a moment. We'll get back to going here in a second. Okay. All right, you might have to camera toggle. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, she's back. She's back. She's back. You know it. She's back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
She's back too.
Yay.
Now we got two backs.
Baby got back.
That's
Sorry. For my brain, we're on the air, aren't we?
Yeah,
that's okay.
That song brainwashed everybody.
That's one of the.
They don't even know why Baby Got Back is so appealing. Why the buttocks are so magnetic and appealing. I won't make you go down that subject road today, but it's not just because of how they've what's the word I'm looking for? How they've promoted them and made it a vulgar thing. There's a literal psychological and physical reason, because the buttocks of a female look like an apple. They look like the perfect geometry of the fruit from the tree. That in that perfect geometry, our minds are set to be attracted to that perfect geometry. It comes from birth. Even if you've never seen a Baby Got Back video or anything like that, that geometry you're going to be attracted to. The breasts hold that same geometry, and the eyes hold that geometry. The mouth holds that geometry. The head, in some ways, holds that geometry. It's what it is.
Everything is a perfect split, and if you will
Mhm.
look, man and woman, you got a seam where
Yep.
you split from one, and each side was created equally.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right down the center of your body. Everything on the one side is in the image of what's on the other side, and then in the middle, the core in the middle, like with an apple, that's where the genesis is at when it comes to reproductive system. For a man and a woman, is in the center of that perfect geometry again. And yeah, I tend to look at. I don't look at. There was a time in my life when I was like everybody else, and I looked at a female body in a profane way, in a lustful way, and it still certainly is magnetic and attractive and beautiful, but I look at it now more in a glorious, beautiful way than I used to, because, I know more of the truth now, and I understand these things, and it changes. Knowledge changes not only your view of how your eyes work, but your view of how you see what you're looking at. Because two people can look at the same thing, and depending on the knowledge of what they have in their mind, they see two different things, even though they're looking at the same thing. Yeah. So there it is. That.
Can you fix that screen for me, please? All I can see is the tab where you were trying to add
Yep.
Shannon in.
I apologize.
That way I don't have to two screen it on the comments.
I
Here.
got sidetracked. I better back up here and make sure everybody got shown. Yeah, those carnival bowls. I used to go by the name the Idaho Picker years ago when I first started out, and it was because I was buying and reselling antiques, and carnival glass was always a fun find. I still love it. I don't have any right now, but I would love to have some carnival glass.
A little side rabbit hole, if anybody would like to go in, go research, because I'm not getting into it. It's a long thing, as to why a wedding ring of union, whatever you want to call it, is put on the particular finger it's supposed to be. It has something to do with your energy.
Somebody just texts from the website and says, Carn I vow. Carni, like carnival, like carnal. Y'all guys don't know, on the website, if you enter a chat while we're live, it's going to pop up on my screen, and I'm going to see it, and I'll probably read whatever you send. Now, of course, your own screen too, but maybe you don't have a YouTube membership, a YouTube login. But if you want your message to get to me while I'm live, if you go on the TheSupernatural.Show website, and the little chat button down in the lower right, if you type something in there and hit send while I'm live, I'm going to see it, and I'm probably going to read it. As long as you're being nice, of course. But this person said, carnival glass, ... Carn I vow. Yeah, if you really look into the phonetics and the etymology of the words and syllables, there's a lot to be seen. I think sometimes I think it is, what is it, the Hebrew language or the Greek language, where they made the letter, was it the letter X or S? It was either the S or the X. They retired it, you might say. And what it is, it's the sound of the serpent. If you think of S or X, or S, of course, S. And then think about all the words that are profane that have that sound in it. It's not exclusive, but it's intentional. Think of female body parts. And I'm not trying to get you to think profane, but we're in class, okay? And so we're all sitting here together talking. So I'm not trying to get you to think profane, but
Well, I think they're all old enough that their mama
Yeah.
signed their permission slip. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you think about some of the words that have been used for, I mean, one I can say is penis, right? Penis. And of course, the female body part has some profane words I'm not going to use, but it has this in it. And a lot of times you'll have repeated either S and X, like for instance, space X. There's 3 S in it. You got serpent sound, space X.
If you think about it
Star.
if you think about it too, not on the S thing, but the P and the V, they both symbolically represent the
soul.
parts. You know what I mean? Like P, if you look at it, it looks like
you mean the makeup of the style of the letters themselves?
Exactly. They literally represent those parts.
Yep. I see what you're saying. And yeah, there's a lot to be, because all this, they didn't teach us these fine details in school. All they wanted to do is teach us how to spell cast. Okay. We didn't know that's what they were doing, but that's why it was called, spelling. And they didn't teach us these things. But yeah, I've been thinking about that too, Shannon, even all the shapes of the different letters, like the S. Look at the S. Right. It's like a serpent. The S is a serpent. Mm-hmm. You think that's a coincidence?
Why do you think they use that as the dollar sign symbol with the 2?
On the pole. Yep.
Marking, yeah.
Yep, exactly. A serpent raised on a pole. And they used to act that the dollar sign seems like to me it used to have 2 poles.
Yeah, and but then, now it's only 1.
Since 9/11, there's only 1 pole now. Of course, they brought down the 2 poles and put up the 1 pole, of course, symbolizing the putting of man and woman back together again. I do want to recognize the same person on the website. They were clarifying carne a soul, carnival, or carne a soul as part of what they were trying to say. But yeah, Shannon, yeah, you're welcome. But Shannon, you could make, oops, did I just hit?
Well, because even if it started with a B, which is the same type of shape, but it is the pole side is like different, right?
I think we can say vagina.
No, instead of P for the penis word, and because the P and the B can be very similar with just their opposite, but they chose the P and chose that penis because it literally, if you put it on top of the V, it literally shows the act of
on top of the P
penetration.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, but character and symbolic wise, it matches with ritual sex magic.
Gotcha. Yep. Not only the words and the frequencies that we're projecting, it's also the actual letters themselves and the phonetics of the words. That is all part of the spell casting. And honestly, if we could really come to understand this, we could learn how to, one, either stop what we're doing and contributing to what they're doing with the language that they've told us to learn. We could also maybe turn it around on them and use it against them,
That's interesting. In ASL, the letters P and B are the same, but shown differently. Which is sign language.
Yeah, and of course we said the S and all the different words. And if you really sit back and think about it for a while, think about the S and the X, and the different things that are associated with that, you'll see it. I've only mentioned a couple of things, but you'll see it. It's all over everywhere. And then you got the letter A, for instance, like alpha, and that looks like, of course, the pyramid, the all seeing eye with the pyramid. The B, like if you're thinking about the word bust, like breast or breast, even breast, you got the B. And what does it look like? It looks like, if you turn it on its side, of course, it looks like breast.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the calculator trick when we were kids where you added it up and made dirty word.
That's what we used to do with pagers back in the day. We used to do that with pagers. Yep. We would send each other text phone with numbers because that was before the day of texting,
And a visitor on the website says alphabet. Alphabet, for alphabet, of course. That's very.
I have actually started taking biblical verses where it was translated, and which mine's been about Mary Magdalene, and it talks about where Mark or Peter or whatever said a particular word. It was a verb, and so I went and looked in when and where and how they used that verb, and it was referencing to Mary Magdalene and the women watching the crucifixion at a distance. And I don't know if everybody knows or not, but when you read that book and it gets to the end and it abruptly stops, you're supposed to go read it again, and it gives you a whole different perspective. Because he doesn't mention them till the end by name, but if you go back to the beginning, you realize who he's talking about. But anyway, if you look at the use of the verbiage in the translation and how the verb was used, it gives you a better understanding of what they meant. But just about everything in our world that they told us was dangerous or poisonous or don't touch it, there was a reason they were hiding something. Even with mercury.
Don't eat the apple seeds, they'll poison you.
Well, like mercury, they didn't want us touching raw mercury, it'll poison you. Mm-hmm. You put mercury in a centrifuge and you spin that bad boy, it becomes weightless. It no longer adheres to magnetism or gravity or whatever you want to call this theory.
Whatever that theory is, yeah.
Yeah.
Or lie. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that big tall tail.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the things they told you back then, like carnival glass, the green one, it'll give you this, it'll give you that. Bull. But on a good note for that, you can look up in your area. I have started seeing these pop up as well. They're off-grid schools. They are. Okay, there's a lot of people that want to homeschool their kids, but they can't pull them out because we all got to work jobs because we live in this debt system. So to get your kids out of public schools, some people are setting up what they call off-grid schools. These are schools where people own a couple of acres of land. They have big tents and yurts and stuff set outside for the children. A couple of hours a day, they teach them, reading, writing, basic arithmetic. The other hours of the day, they teach them outside. They take them outside. They teach them how to, depending upon age, take care of the animals. You're supposed to feed them and water them. This is your responsibility. How to grow food, how to change a tire, things of that nature. We got one here locally, and I'm looking into it. It sounds like an amazing alternative to that little prison for minors they got.
Right. White Flag Revolution says Google 9994 see the truth and a bad Don told you. Google 9994. Okay. I'll play ball with you for a second.
You going or am I?
You can too if you want to, but just say before. See what I see before I put it on screen. Okay. So, the first return is top is from March 18th, 2020. It's the declaring a national emergency concerning the flu pow. That thing, the planned demonic proclamation 9994, declaring a national emergency. Yep. And people just don't want to admit who rolled that out. They don't want to admit it. Operation Warp Speed. Yep. That's right. They don't want to admit it because you must believe what they want to believe. And I would encourage you to open your mind. So yeah, I see what you're saying there about that. Thank you, White Flag Revolution. Joni says, whatever they say is bad for us is good for us. Pretty much. You know, you need to do a little looking and checking, maybe a little bit somehow, but you can't just ask Google because it'll lie to you too.
Today's secret is we don't trust anything.
Yeah.
Go find out for yourself.
Except for God.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm talking about anything they told us. I'm sorry.
We're talking about anything on this world, in this world. Mm-hmm. You know,
we know we can trust in him. He's the only thing we can trust in.
That is true. It's true. I mean, completely 100%. You got to be down with him for him to be down with you. The Super Dave 44, please check out his channel sometime, guys, if you're new here. He says, everyone, please go and thumbs up. Yeah, why not? You know, if it ain't killing you to raise your finger and go, you know, thumbs it up. Privates Joiner, I remember you from yesterday on the Can You See What I See? We're going to be doing some more of that tomorrow. We're going to continue down that path. That's a long path, and I got a lot I want to show everybody. Yeah, you gotta proofread a little bit, Privates Joiner.
Absolutely, Kent. See, when I went to school in high school in the 90s, we had programs for shop class and auto mechanics and body works and the FFA and things that could lead you somewhere other than college. When I was in high school in 9th grade, I think it was, you could go to I don't know if all states have this, but we had a thing called the Career Center. I'm sure you remember it.
I went to it.
And of course I took auto tech, but
and I took,
most girls took business administration.
And I took computer repair electronics in the 11th grade and 12th grade and got A's in both classes.
But if they give you life skills like home economics, see, I don't think any child should be able to graduate high school unless you can balance your checkbook. And I know nobody uses checkbooks anymore, but the theory of it and the understanding of what a home mortgage is and what an interest rate is and what kind of debt this is like pro athletes. Before you sign up to go to college, you should have to go through a class that's going to explain to you that you're going to spend the next 15 years of your life paying off the debt on a job that's not even going to make you enough money to pay off the debt for getting the degree that's essentially useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a 30-year-old, y'all, that can't make macaroni and cheese out the box, y'all.
Right. Yeah, I never went past high school. I started to for just a little bit, but I didn't. Because something told me it wasn't going to be valuable. But I also decided when I was like, I don't know, 20, I'm guessing 23, 24, I decided by the age of 35 that I was going to be a millionaire. And because, you know, I was still thinking that was success. That was how you win in this world, you know, was to get rich and have the fancy cars and the fancy house. And by age 35, I was a millionaire. But none of it was what I thought it was. And I stood on the side porch of my $500,000 house one time and said, Father, why is it that I don't appreciate any of this stuff and it does not make me happy? I said that, prayed that a number of times. And then one night I said, can you help me appreciate things better? Okay, whack. No more stuff. End of problem. Now you appreciate having shelter and a little bit of food and, the simple actual needs and not the wants of the carnal body. Once you can separate those two things, separate your needs from your wants, and understand that your carnal body will try to get you to want things that are not good for you, and you learn that you are the captain of this vessel because you are in a vessel. You're the captain, meaning your spirit, your soul. You have the ultimate choice to say yes or no. You treat your body like it's a child. Nope, ain't getting it. Nope, not doing that. Nope. Or if it's appropriate, yes. Go ahead.
Well, and if in reading the Bible, when you talk about Jesus going from Galilee to Jerusalem on his journey, and he talks to people that follow him, and he tells them, leave all of your things. Everything that's important to you, leave it behind and follow me. He didn't mean, I don't think he meant follow me as your leader. He meant physically follow me. Drop all your goods and follow me. Your service to others will serve you for everything that you need. Leave everything you got behind. Because if you are good to others and you service others with the word of God and you live a righteous life, those that you are serving will in return serve you back. That's what helping each other is. That's what following Jesus is. It was live like me. Don't put me on a pedestal. Live like I live.
Yep, that is true. I want to address James' comment here. He says, consider buying crypto. The risk is worth the reward. Now, James, you must be new to this channel, and I want to honestly say thank you for being here, for taking the time to come and listen to things that must be rhyming with you. However, I ask you to consider what the word crypto means, and I ask you to consider what the word coin means, and I ask you to consider the history of what made people wealthy and what allowed them to stay in control of what they generated with the sweat from their brow. People used to have ranches. People used to have cattle and corn and things and all kind of things. And they traded those things. And that was the currency. And then the coin was introduced because it's convenient to change things. But then the thing of value then actually became the coin. And then it went from being like a piece of silver coin or gold coin, something like that, which gold is valuable because of its properties, its attributes. Same thing with silver. But then it went from being that, then it went to being a piece of paper, something that has absolutely no value, but they convinced us that it has value. Then they changed it from being an actual silver certificate or a note of promise to a actual debt. It's a debt note. That is the current currency. Now what they're doing is they're saying, no more cattle, no more gold, silver coins in your hand. We want everything in our hand. Crypto, dead money. Crypto means death. Coin means co-in, meaning me and you are in on it and agree it's currency. Crypto means death, dead money. Now, with that being said, I hope that you will stay around and keep listening to the show. Because I'm not against you. I'm for you. Now, with what I just said, it doesn't mean we can't disagree and still be friends. Because we need to stop dividing because we don't agree on a specific subject. All of us need to do this.
We do conversation, not confrontation.
Yes, exactly. We're all need to be looking and realizing we're brothers and sisters. We're here together talking about things, but we're not having confrontation. We're having conversation. So thank you. And I think I just missed a message from the website. I didn't catch it when it popped because I was
I'm
talking.
I'm watching multiple things here.
Yeah, I missed one that popped in from the chat on the website. Resubmit that and I'll see it again.
You resubmit it. We'll see it when it pops up. Sorry.
Yep, white flag. Crypt equals tomb means it's death. Let's go back up here. Absolutely, white flag, absolutely correct. God gave all things freely, and freely we are to give all things. Repent from idolatry, sins of money. Yep, exactly. Graven images.
And somebody made a good point on there a while ago. Jesus was a carpenter, but he never built a church.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
He said the men that he will turn the money tables over of the men that deal with money in a church. A church is not for money.
The temple. And now they're trying to do that again, like, what was it? Bill Gates's copyright 666. It's monetizing the human body from its tasks that it does, its motions, its movements. Literally monetizing the temple again is what the Gates and all these kind of people are doing right now. That's why they want biometrics. They want anything they can get on
bioelectric
you.
antenna. Yeah.
Yep.
Bioelectric antenna. We are an antenna. All those cell phone towers you see up all around the world, and a lot of them you don't see because they've got them disguised as trees.
But they see you.
And cactus. They see you. And you are nothing more than another antenna. Oh, we were going to go through the how to turn off 5G before we forget it because I got to go in a second.
Okay. Hit it.
Anybody who has a cell phone, which I think most of us do, we're all got them.
Thank you, James.
If you, for any reason, want to turn off the 5G, you can turn most Android and Apple. You can turn the 5G back to 4G. Lately, I have been suffering with my ears ringing, especially like at night, when the world's kind of quiet. And I keep my phone on the floor. I don't put my phone by the bed. It's on a charger in the floor, so it's not parallel with my head. Because even when you're sleeping, that phone is going out and checking your Facebook and your Twitter or X or whatever you call it. It's doing the push notifications. It's checking your email. Every time it does that, it emits and receives a frequency. But you can go into your phone and turn the 4G and 5G off. I texted in the group a while ago. On the Android, you open your settings, you tap connections, mobile network, and tap network mode. There you can choose LTE or 4G instead of 5G.
Right.
That's for an Android. On the Apple, you go into settings, cellular data options. And the second one down will say voice and data. You can select in there and select LTE instead of 5G. My ears quit ringing. It's just a thought. You can turn it off. Because Daniel had a very good documentary, Operation Radiation. If you'll look back over time,
we're going to be looking at that again in the coming, maybe Sunday.
Yeah, every time they have implemented from radio to power lines to all of that stuff. Every time they implement a new frequency that they are putting out, we have a pandemic that happens. When we had this last one, that was 5G. Turn that bad boy off. You are a walking electronic frequency node.
Yep.
They've got you tuned into these towers. These towers can tune into you. So if your phone is sitting on 5G and they decide they want to push something out on 5G, your phone then becomes the repeater.
And it's based on your DNA as to whether it will affect you or your sister or your cousin or the neighbor.
Well, and in a lot of houses now, the internet, which around here locally, you have an internet box, your router. And if your house is bigger, they have these things called plumes, or you've seen Wi-Fi extenders, etc. How it moves the signal along a little further in your residence or your property. Your cell phone does the same thing from that cell phone tower. It acts as a repeater. So if you're not close enough to a cell phone tower and they're sending something out through 5G, your phone is going to pick it up and push it to you. Cut that 5G off. Just cut it off.
Yep.
I will say this. There's a few people who have come out who run those businesses that help to repair your phones. And they're finding that a lot of these phones that claim to have the 5G chip in it don't even have it in there.
Which they're not in there, they claim.
Right. So the towers, they're not just running off of your phone. They're tapping into you. This is an antenna for you. And it's like, yeah, turning off the 5G on your phone is fantastic. But if our phones don't even necessarily have them, how do we turn it off to us? I
Danny's
guess would
showing
be my
you a box
question.
of stuff right there that would help. Oh
yeah.
One thing before I go, because I have got to get out of here, guys. I've had a fantastic Friday. I love chatting with y'all. We need to get a gallery up so people can see the hat submissions we've had so far.
Yeah, I can do that.
Like on the website, like start a gallery. Yeah, and we might even just give them entry numbers so nobody knows who submitted what.
I kind of been holding back because I didn't want someone to have an advantage because they were the first person to submit. And then their hat is there a lot longer, and that may give an advantage or a disadvantage even. And I was going to present them all together. So I'm kind of back and forth on that, but we'll talk about it, Rox. We'll figure out what to do.
Well, I've been trying to figure out like a way to do voting, and maybe not just do this is the one I like kind of thing. Maybe we have it so you get 2 different scores, maybe one for originality and one for overall, and your combined score will do the winner. But we'll get with it later. I'm out of here, guys. I got to pack. I'm going to the farm to get away from the world for a couple of days.
All right.
Have a wonderful, blessed weekend.
You too, guys. Yeah. Love you all. I'll see y'all on Monday. My show will be on Tuesday. We're going to talk about Cleopatra and Mary Magdalene and archaeology. Love you guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thank you, Roxy. Yeah, I was showing the tinfoil hat contest that we've got going on, but also in reference to you can make a tinfoil hat for your cell phone. See, when you know that you don't need your cell phone, but you've got it with you, make yourself a tinfoil package or a hat, an envelope that you can slide it into, make it out of tinfoil, and put it in there when you're not using it. And if you know you're expecting a call or you need to use it, pull it out. It's like a place you put it away to when you're not at home, because we have to realize and admit that these things are not, yes, there are benefits, but they are not good for us. They were not meant to be good for us. They are something that has benefits that will make us want to use it, that is literally actually a weapon. And you really need to start, and I'm guilty too. I need to start, and you need to start realizing this about those things. And
on that note, John Todd, which I've mentioned before, who was also known as Lance Collins, that was his real name. He mentions in his testimonies that, witchcraft, because these are scrying mirrors. That's what these things are. Witchcraft is the hardest addiction that has physical implications that you could ever kick the habit of, basically. Unlike even drugs or any of those kinds of things when it comes to physical addiction. Right.
Why do you think it is?
He says,
that it's so addictive?
Because it is a spiritual black magic thing. It is. And you notice that especially kids who grew up on this stuff, like adults like us who have gone through life without these things as a child, we have a lot easier time setting down our phone, even though we still all have an addiction to it. But kids, they can't live without it. It's like the second they're attached at the hip with it, it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like you take it away and you see your kid have a meltdown. It doesn't matter what age they are. They have a literal meltdown.
They're having a literal dopamine drop.
So, you know, it is an addiction. It is and it has physical implications aside from, you know, what people think. You literally feel like you have to touch your phone. I mean, how many times a day do you sit there and think, oh my gosh, where's my phone? Even though it's like right there in your hand and you don't even realize it's in your hand, but you're looking for your phone.
I've done it, I think, but you're like, where's my phone at? And you got it on you or in your hand and you're like going around looking for it. Yeah, that's crazy.
And these are the physical implications.
Welcome back, Mike.
The addiction.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, we are going to start kind of wrapping up here, but I wanted to, here at the end of the show this one more time. And I think it was 7 so far in day 2. Going to be live 31 days straight is what I'm doing. As of the end of day 2, we'd raised $757, I think it was, dollars, something like that. It's on the website. And all the links, if you're willing to help us achieve this goal, are on the website and also below the video. So please consider the work that we do and that it actually has value. It is a service. And literally, it's similar to the word service, like a church service, but we don't act churchy here. You know, we just be ourselves is what we do. But I do see the chats coming in from the website as well, talking about producer and spelling and stuff. I see you. Thank you for your participation in the show today.
I just have to read this comment out loud. Yes, I've used the flashlight on my phone to search for my phone.
Oh, Lord.
I was like, I think I've done that too. I feel you, Kent.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's like when you realize what you're doing, you're like, oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, we sure do hope everyone has a great weekend. And make sure if you're new here, you subscribe. You know, and you got to turn on the little notification thing because YouTube does not like notifying people about this. Of course, we're live on about 10 platforms, but YouTube is our largest source of audience. So I thank you all for being here. Again, thanks to Super Dave, Super Mike. Please go over and see Super Dave 44 when he's live. And again, all the links for the Superthon, as we're calling it, are below. Thank all of you in the comments, like James for being here, and Enoch777. And I'll see y'all guys again tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to go Can You See What I Can See again. And then we're going to go and on Sunday, and we're going to watch Operation Radiation together and talk about it as we go through it. And again, thank you for your participation on the website. They said, thank you very much, Daniel. I've been listening pretty much since the beginning. So that's awesome. And if you're on the website like that and you log in, it'll tell me who you are. So I'll know who you are. So make sure you get your logins on the website working, and you can use that chat button on the lower right of the chat website window, and you'll be able to communicate just like these people are here. You all guys are involved in the show. and so are you guys that are on the website. So thank everybody, and thank you too, Shannon, for showing back up again and jumping in.
You're welcome. And hey, sorry you guys about yesterday. I did not get to do a live. I did post some things on Children of the Most High for you guys to kind of, prepare yourself for my upcoming topic, which has to do with Alex Jones and what just happened to him and his past with the ABC factions.
And when is that going to be again, Shannon?
I am actually going to do a makeup show today. So
today. Okay, what time?
Today.
Approximately?
Around like 4 p.m. Pacific Central Time. So
4 p.m. Pacific. Okay.
Yeah. So to me, it's really important that everyone understand
Thank you, Diana.
the warfare that we're dealing with coming out here as truthers, especially in the name of Jesus or Yahweh, Yeshua, whichever name resonates with you most. But it's important because at some point, guys, it's going to be harder and harder for us to get out on these platforms. And with what's coming out, with what has just transpired with Alex Jones, which we know is a shill, but that's going to be part of the conversation, it is opening the door to the rest of us real truthers out here. And the scary part is they can now seize our channels and take it over through AI in the guise of us.
Well,
so this is something.
Rebuke that in the name of Christ, because
Amen.
That's not gonna happen. And part of y'all guys don't realize, but part of why I'm raising this money is because I need to improve the platform that we're doing. So no matter if I have YouTube or not, y'all guys are still going to be able to come and still going to be able to join the conversation, just like we're doing now. We don't have to have YouTube. We use it as a tool, just like with Facebook and all these ways to put out video content. But if y'all guys will help support this show, we ain't going nowhere no matter what, because they're not going to stop us. They're going to try.
Oh, of course.
But it's not going to work.
But something to watch for is to make sure that we don't have some kind of twin channel that pops up that says that's us, but it's really AI driven.
Well,
so this is something
that's a good point
to keep an eye on for the future, not just with us, but any of the truthers that you subscribe to.
They could pull that, yeah.
And so, because that's what the door is open now for. And this is why, tonight's broadcast is going to be important, because we are going to take steps to find ways to get this stuff out to you without the digital realm. I know that Daniel's already worked really hard to get stuff on DVDs.
Yep. You can literally buy the show on DVDs, and I'm going to set up a way that if something happens, I'll pull the trigger on where you can order a DVD and get the shows on DVD, even if you can't get it on the internet because they've shut everything down. I can still keep doing this. Even if they literally shut down the internet. But we have to be ahead of it. This is part of why we need your support. And please go check out Shannon's show here this evening, guys. And again, the way you support it is by supporting the Supernatural Show October Superthon, which is going on right now. And we've made some progress, but we got to keep pushing. I got 31 days live every day that I got to pull off. And I promise you, it ain't easy. I'm on day 4 straight right now. And but we're going to get it. I'm going to handle it. Take the bull by the horns, like I said earlier. But with that said, we are going to go ahead and get on out of here for today, guys. Thank all of you for being here. Thank you, Shannon, for hanging out a little bit longer with us. And thank you to Visitor 1224 via the live chat on the website. I see your messages coming in about Luke 6:41. Thank you very much. And thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you, Super Dave, Super Mike. Thank you, Roxy. And we'll see you guys tomorrow when I'm going to ask you the question, do you see what I see again?